Trackabi lets you track time using a web timer, desktop app, or mobile app. In this video, we'll focus on the web and desktop applications. The web timer is the simplest way to track time. It's available on every page of the web interface. Just press the play button when you start working. Describe what you're working on. Press pause when you step away. And press stop when you finish a task or wrap up your day. You can also start the web timer by selecting one of your recent projects or tasks. Keep in mind that the web timer only tracks time. If you want to monitor user activity, calculate activity scores, capture screenshots, or log visited URLs, you should use the desktop application. To enforce this, you can disable the web timer for your team in the Roles section. When the web timer is disabled, the control buttons will no longer appear in the timer, like this. The Trackabi desktop application is available for Windows, macOS, and Linux. Let's launch the app. At the top, you'll see the timer. Below that is a calendar showing daily time, leaves, missing time alerts, and other details. To start tracking, click the play button. You can also pick a recent project or task from the list. When tracking starts, a time entry is created, where you can add more details about your work. This form can be customized in the web interface under Settings, Timesheet. Let's fast forward. Once time is recorded, you'll see it appear in the timeline. The blue bar at the top shows the time belonging to the current time entry. It animates while the timer is running, and turns solid blue when stopped. Time from other entries appears in gray. The green bar with yellow segments below indicates productive, green, and unproductive, yellow periods, based on the apps you've used. For example, YouTube is generally unproductive, while Visual Studio Code is productive. You can set your own productivity rules in the web interface under Settings, Productivity. A bar below the productivity bar shows the applications used. Gaps in the timeline show when the timer paused due to inactivity. Sometimes, you might notice the timer kept running briefly during idle moments. That's because of a built-in tolerance that allows short periods of inactivity before the timer stops. If inactivity exceeds this threshold, the timer automatically pauses. You can adjust this timer tolerance to control how much idle time is allowed before the timer stops. A bar with screenshots taken during the timer session appears below the apps block. At the bottom of the timeline, you'll see the user activity score chart, which shows how actively the mouse and keyboard were used during the tracked periods. In addition to using the timer, you can manually add time if your account settings allow it. You can enter the total hours directly. You can also drag to select intervals on the timeline, similar to highlighting text. Specific intervals can be edited or deleted as needed. Or, for greater accuracy, you can click the blue button with the plus icon. This will automatically log all activity intervals, taking the timer tolerance settings into account. The button next to the plus icon lets you clear all time logged for the current time entry. Remember, manual edits can be disabled for all users through the settings. Now let's quickly look at the daily statistics in the app. Displayed here is the time logged, shown as a blue bar on the timeline, along with total earnings for the day. The next bar shows the projects you worked on. The first percentage indicates how much of your required minimum time you've logged. The second compares it to the previous day. Activity time shows how long you were actively using your computer. Because the timer can continue running for short periods of inactivity, depending on the timer tolerance setting, this time may be less than your total time logged. On the right, you'll see the daily user activity score, which also appears on the timeline. Below that is a view of productive versus unproductive time, including a chart with a breakdown by hour. Finally, at the bottom, you'll find your top 5 applications used, along with a chart showing application usage by hour. All this data, and a bit more, is available for managers in the Insights section of the web interface as well. This is it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.